If you are over 60 and living with lower back pain, it often feels like an unavoidable part of aging. You wake up stiff, move slowly at first, and maybe hesitate before standing, already anticipating discomfort. Over time, this pain becomes so familiar that many people stop questioning it. But lower back pain is rarely just about age. It is usually a sign that the systems designed to protect your spine are no longer working together the way they once did. As the years pass, daily movement naturally becomes more repetitive. Sitting replaces squatting, walking replaces varied motion, and the body adapts by using fewer muscles in fewer ways. The deep, stabilizing muscles around the spine begin to shut down, not because they are damaged, but because they are no longer being asked to participate. When that happens, the larger muscles and joints take on extra stress, especially in the lower back. The nervous system also plays a major role. After repeated episodes of discomfort, the brain becomes protective. Movements that were once automatic start to feel risky. You may unconsciously brace your back, hold your breath, or avoid certain positions altogether. This protective behavior creates stiffness and tension, which further limits movement and increases pain. It becomes a quiet cycle that feeds itself. Many older adults turn to walking as the main solution, and while walking is excellent for circulation and general health, it does not always address the root of lower back pain. Walking is repetitive and forward-focused. It does little to restore spinal awareness, pelvic control, or deep core engagement. Without those elements, the spine continues to bear unnecessary load. What truly helps is not doing more, but doing differently. The body needs movements that re-establish communication between the brain, the spine, and the muscles that support them. When these connections are restored, pressure on the lower back naturally decreases. Posture improves without force. Movement feels smoother and less guarded. This is why targeted, gentle exercises can be more effective than simply staying active. They retrain coordination, rebuild trust in movement, and remind the body how to support itself efficiently. Lower back pain often softens when the body feels stable again. Aging does not mean giving up comfort or confidence. With the right approach, the body can adapt, reorganize, and move with greater ease than many people expect at this stage of life. The pelvic tilt is one of those movements that seems almost too simple to matter, yet its impact on the aging spine is profound. It does not rely on strength, flexibility, or endurance. Instead, it works through awareness and control, which are often the first things to fade as we move less and sit more over the years. For many adults over 60, lower back pain is less about damage and more about disconnection, and the pelvic tilt helps rebuild that missing link. As daily movement becomes limited, the deep stabilizing muscles that support the spine begin to shut down. These muscles are designed to work quietly in the background, maintaining alignment and absorbing small stresses before they reach the joints. When they stop firing properly, the lower back becomes vulnerable. The pelvic tilt gently reintroduces these muscles to their role, reminding the nervous system that the spine is supported and capable. Each slow tilt of the pelvis creates a subtle shift in spinal position. This movement stimulates sensory receptors around the joints and muscles, sending feedback to the brain about where the body is in space. Over time, this feedback improves coordination and reduces the need for protective tension. The spine no longer feels unstable, so the body stops bracing unnecessarily. Another important benefit is pelvic alignment. The pelvis acts as the foundation for nearly every movement, from standing and walking to sitting and bending. When it becomes stuck in one position, pressure increases on the lower vertebrae. Gentle pelvic tilts restore mobility to this area, allowing forces to distribute more evenly through the body. Many people notice that posture improves naturally, without conscious effort or strain. This exercise also encourages healthy breathing patterns. When paired with slow exhalation, the abdominal muscles engage just enough to support the spine without rigidity. This combination calms the nervous system and promotes relaxation in the lower back. Stiffness, especially in the morning, often begins to fade as circulation improves. The key to this movement is intention rather than range. Small, controlled motions are far more effective than exaggerated ones. Over time, the pelvic tilt teaches the body how to move with efficiency and confidence again. It becomes less about the exercise itself and more about restoring trust in your own movement, allowing the spine to feel supported, stable, and free to move without fear. The glute bridge plays a crucial role in restoring balance and support to the aging body, especially when lower back pain has become a regular companion. Many people over 60 are surprised to learn that their back pain often begins in the hips rather than the spine itself. Years of sitting, limited movement, and protective habits cause the glute muscles to become inactive. When these powerful muscles stop contributing, the lower back is forced to absorb forces it was never meant to handle on its own. The glutes are designed to be the body's primary drivers for standing, walking, and lifting. When they are not doing their job, every transition, from getting out of a chair to climbing stairs, places extra strain on the lumbar spine. The glute bridge reverses this pattern by teaching the body how to generate force from the hips again. Each controlled lift redistributes load away from the lower back and into the muscles built to handle it. From a neurological perspective, this exercise helps reestablish efficient movement patterns. The slow, deliberate motion allows the brain to feel the sequence of muscle activation, creating a sense of stability and predictability. Over time, this reduces the subconscious guarding that often accompanies chronic pain. When the body feels secure, it moves more freely and with less tension. The glute bridge also strengthens the posterior chain, a system of muscles that includes the glutes, hamstrings, and spinal stabilizers. This system plays a vital role in balance and fall prevention, which becomes increasingly important with age. Improved hip strength leads to better control during everyday movements, helping older adults feel steadier on their feet. Breathing plays an important role as well. Coordinating the lift with an exhale encourages gentle core engagement without stiffness. This creates support around the spine while allowing it to remain mobile. Many people notice that their back feels lighter and more relaxed after just a few repetitions. Perhaps the most meaningful benefit is psychological. The act of lifting the hips, even slightly, sends a message of capability to the nervous system. It reinforces the idea that the body can rise safely and confidently. With regular practice, this movement restores strength, reduces strain on the lower back, and helps everyday activities feel smoother and more secure again. Lower back pain often has less to do with the spine itself and more to do with what surrounds it. Tight hips, restricted nerves, and shallow breathing patterns quietly contribute to discomfort, especially as the body ages. Movements like the single knee to chest and the Piriformis release address these hidden contributors by creating space, improving circulation, and calming the nervous system rather than forcing change. Bringing one knee toward the chest gently decompresses the lumbar spine. This simple action reduces pressure between the vertebrae and allows the lower back to soften into the floor. For many older adults, this is one of the first times in the day that the spine fully relaxes. When paired with slow breathing, the effect becomes even more powerful. Each exhale signals the nervous system that it is safe to let go, reducing muscle guarding that often fuels chronic pain. This movement also encourages healthier breathing mechanics. Lying on the back with one knee drawn in naturally guides the breath deeper into the diaphragm. Deeper breathing improves oxygen delivery, supports relaxation, and helps shift the body out of a constant state of tension. Over time, this can reduce pain sensitivity and improve overall comfort in the lower back and hips. The Piriformis release targets a small but influential muscle deep within the hip. When this muscle becomes tight, it can compress the sciatic nerve, creating pain that radiates down the leg and alters walking patterns. Gentle stretching of this area restores mobility in the hip joint and reduces nerve irritation without aggressive pulling. This is especially important for older adults, whose tissues respond better to slow, sustained input. Releasing tension in the piriformis can also improve balance. Studies have linked hip tightness to unstable gait patterns, which increase the risk of falls. When the hips move more freely, walking becomes smoother and more controlled. The body no longer compensates with stiffness or hesitation. These exercises work best when approached with patience. There is no need to chase sensation or force a deeper stretch. The goal is to invite the body to open gradually. With consistent practice, tension eases, movement confidence improves, and the lower back begins to feel supported not through effort, but through ease and coordination that returns as the body relearns how to relax and move together again. Tight hamstrings often go unnoticed, yet they play a major role in persistent lower back discomfort, especially later in life. These long muscles run along the back of the thighs and connect directly into the mechanics of the pelvis and spine. When they lose flexibility or stop engaging properly, they quietly pull the pelvis into an imbalanced position. This constant tug increases strain on the lower back and can make even simple movements feel heavy or restricted. For many adults over 60, the issue is not that the hamstrings are naturally short, but that they have become inactive. Years of limited movement, prolonged sitting, and reduced use cause these muscles to lose elasticity. When muscles are not regularly taken through their full, comfortable range, they stiffen as a protective response. Gentle hamstring stretching helps reverse this process by restoring length and improving blood flow without triggering resistance. This type of stretching also improves communication between the muscles and the nervous system. Specialized sensory receptors within the hamstrings provide feedback to the brain about tension and position. When stimulated gradually, these receptors help the brain feel more confident about movement. As trust increases, the body allows greater range without fear, reducing the need for protective tightness that often contributes to pain. Consistent hamstring work can have a noticeable effect on posture. As tension eases, the pelvis returns to a more neutral position, allowing the spine to stack naturally. Many people find that standing and walking require less effort, and that the lower back no longer feels constantly braced. Movement begins to feel smoother and more fluid. The key is regular, gentle practice rather than intensity. A short daily routine is far more effective than pushing into discomfort. Using support such as a chair or lying position allows the stretch to be done safely and comfortably. Breathing slowly during each hold encourages relaxation and reinforces calm movement patterns. Over time, these small efforts accumulate into meaningful change. The body adapts to what it practices most often. When flexibility, awareness, and consistency replace force, the lower back begins to feel lighter and more supported. This approach is not about chasing extreme range, but about restoring balance and confidence, so everyday movements can be performed with greater ease and less tension as part of a sustainable and comfortable daily rhythm.